We just run out of time, as I see. Let's connect back. No, I believe there is a time limit on Instagram for a live story, so we got disconnected. I will invite Diego back. Let's see. So we can continue our conversation.
Sorry, Liv.
We got disconnected. We run out of
See,
time.
yeah, they only give you an hour, no?
Yes. Well,
So
Instagram cannot stop us. Okay,
of
so we
course,
continue.
absolutely. So like it's like an invitation also for people to create like a safe space. For example, like if you are constantly fighting this battle now out
Right.
in the world and sharing your wisdom and your gifts, and sometimes we get depleted also because our energy can drain of being in service to others. So this is a space where you can come back to reconnect with yourself and to nurture yourself by reconnecting with nature and with like-minded individuals. You can do a residence program here, for example, and you share your gifts while you learn from others, and then you can go back and continue fighting this fight against unconsciousness out there in the world, and hopefully it will become like that refuge for people that are looking to bring good to the world, where they can nurture themselves now. And
Wow.
it's also easier to be able to break free from fears when you're doing it in community, because sometimes it feels like us as individuals, we feel like we are the only ones that are struggling and that are being tormented by all of our problems. And when you start sharing with others in a place where you feel trust and you feel contained, you
You feel
realize that
safe.
everybody is going through the same. The problem is that nobody shares it and nobody talks about it, because we are constantly pretending to be great all the time. And the truth is that nobody is able to do that.
Yeah.
So let's see
we
how
we
it's an
constantly hide
experiment.
our yeah we constantly hide what's really going on in our life because society is not letting us express, right?
Hmm.
If you really express what's going on, some people are gonna judge you like, oh no, I'm not gonna hang out with you because you have these problems and this and that, I heard a lot of stories also here in Los Angeles
I can
that,
imagine.
I heard my friend, like my friend told me that people were like, stop hanging out with her son because like something happened, and like he
Uh-huh.
didn't have the car anymore, and like people are very
Materialistic,
very
broken, shallow.
materialistic and egoistic, broken, shallow, and they only care about themselves, right? And just to make themselves look good and
Hmm.
surround themselves with good people and the people that like make themselves look better, right?
Uh-huh.
But the real friends and real connections are those that, even if that when you are sharing honesty, right, sharing what's really going on in your life and helping each other through these difficult situations, because in life we are always challenging, we are always facing challenging times. Like sometimes you just need a friend to talk to, or you need to do a healing, and it's okay. And we are not like robots, right? We're not perfect. So we by being vulnerable, we can, really connect and help each other through these difficult moments.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if we are honest with each other about how we are truly feeling, because if we are all pretending to be okay, then we are all sick within, no? So
Yeah.
if you share these processes, and if you come out of the closet and you say, hey, okay, my friends, I am struggling, I am having a really
Hmm.
fucking difficult time because I don't understand anything of what's happening with the world, I don't
Hmm.
understand what's happening with myself, and
Hmm.
I would like to share that I am struggling with this or with that. And just by allowing people to tap into their feelings, and listening to them again, it
Hmm.
heals them. But the problem
Exactly.
is that if nobody's giving the opportunity to the others to listen to themselves, and nobody wants to share because everybody's afraid of being exposed or feeling vulnerable in front of others, is terrible.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
in LA, I know that it's it's hard to find good people and good friends and to connect with good people there, but there's many different circles there that can
Mm-hmm.
enable these spaces to happen, to have these conversations, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to tap into amazing people that are doing incredible work. But also there's the risk of falling victim of this like a spiritual ego, no, that is really popular now in Venice, for example.
Yeah,
So
also here in Los Angeles, but I feel like everywhere in the world, like globally, you find these people who have this spiritual ego or who are, pretending to be someone. Like I've traveled a lot of cities in my life, and I've seen the same kind of people and same kind of experiences in every city. Like in New York,
yes,
you find this,
yes, because
like you
that's
find
our
this kind of
circle.
people.
Yeah, but that is a circle that
Yeah, I mean,
so that is on our circuit, no, that's true.
unfortunately, yeah, yeah,
But
like it's yeah, like as a fashion model, I've always been exposed to this materialistic world and to this kind of environment. But I also been to India, for example, on a retreat where I became a karma healing teacher, and I learned about meditation and regression. So they wanted me to stay in India, They were like, no, stay with us, you become a healer here. And I told them, I think if you can keep this knowledge that I gained in India and go to New York or go to the city, that you are facing the actual challenges and you are able to implement these changes in your life and your practices, that's the real mindfulness. Because
mhm,
if you are isolated in a world or, you're in the Himalayas meditating, it's wonderful, but right now, like a lot of people are seeking and wanting to have this mindfulness in their life, but they don't know how to do it in the city environment. So what I realized that even in the big city, if you have your practice, your discipline, and you have your commitment to yourself, you can be mindful. You can be mindful in Los Angeles, in New York, and you can continue your practice and don't allow other people to corrupt you, right? But for
mhm.
that you need a very strong discipline.
Of course,
But I think it's if you are able to do it in the city, you are able to do it anywhere. So
of course, yeah,
it's like
absolutely. That is
like
the
a
black belt.
training.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's the black belt.
That
Yeah.
is, I
Yes.
felt the same way like last time I was in India, that
Hmm.
I was telling Carlita, no? Like,
Hmm.
no, pues, it's easier to do it here, no? Like we here it's contained, and that's why the teachers go to
Right.
India and they stay there because it's what bring back that
Yeah.
peace into the city, or sit down in a table with a bunch of
Hmm.
people that are not necessarily in the same process as you, and listen and don't judge and just be present, and then is when it becomes a whole different equation. And trying
Hmm.
to, I think that exposing ourselves in this process to trying to live in peace in those environments, it is key because that is the world that we are living in today.
Hmm.
But I
Exactly.
think that we call ourselves, if you, well, more conscious or awakened people, we say that we are citizens of the world. No, I don't say, yeah, I was born
Hmm.
in Mexico, but so I think that right
Citizen of the
now,
world. Yeah, global
and
citizen.
global citizens. So if we are global citizens, the best way to be able
Hmm.
to contribute positively to this world that we care so much is with our freedom, with our freedom of election. And
Hmm.
our freedom of election starts by stop contributing to policies and to governments and to philosophies that are so deeply corrupted. And that's one of the reasons why I see the opportunity that after this
Hmm.
corona, I hope and I see that
Hmm.
there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people relocating themselves into more uh, like secluded places and living in more isolated
Hmm.
communities where they can be more in contact with nature and where they can live more in peace and
Right.
where they can be able to tap into projects or visions or philosophies that are not necessarily contributing into this system, so that we can start to reestablish that balance that is so necessary,
Hmm.
because otherwise coronavirus could be the best invitation for us to change, or just
Hmm.
an alarming wake up call that if we don't react soon, it's only going to get worse before it gets better. And
I
let's hope
agree.
that we are able to organize ourselves into understanding that we have to change, and that
Mm-hmm.
we have to change, and the only way to truly change is to make like decisions that stop having a negative impact in our lives and in the environment. And that is going
Mm-hmm.
to represent that a lot of us, we're going to have to break free from the fears of change, and break free
Mm-hmm.
from making drastic decisions in our behavior and in our way of living and in our jobs. And we have to question ourselves everything, because it seems that the dream that they were selling to us is broken, and it's shattered into
Yeah.
pieces, and it cannot be contained anymore. So I see it
Mm-hmm.
as an invitation for the one of us that were more silent in our processes to come out and be more
Mm-hmm.
active and become active agents of change. And that is what I love that I'm seeing. We are a living example of that, doing this conversation and trying to just share our thoughts more openly. We're not being afraid of what they would say. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
this invitation, it's happening, and a lot of people are feeling empowered to do the same, because there's too many people with great wisdom that they were not sharing it because they were only using it for their own personal development. And now is the time to try to share and to be active agents, and to call on bullshit, and to not allow unconsciousness to be the driving force in this world. So we'll see what happens, no?
Yeah, I believe this is the future. Conscious living and being conscious about our actions, and really creating this, what exactly what you're doing, creating a community, like with like-minded people who are healing and living in harmony together. That's the future. Because we see that whatever the system is broken, right? The system is not working. So we need to find our own ways to break free from all these fears, what we talked about, fear of death. We have a fear of change. We have a lot of fears also by being different, right? Because we're so used to be live in a society and have this mask and social mask and be like everyone else. No, you need to step up and be unique. Do whatever is your passion. Step up and really fulfill your true potential, right? And I feel like meditation and regression and reading books and talking to like-minded people and creating this community that we can share our knowledge is a key in order to develop as human beings and learn,
Uh-huh.
right? Because it's all about learning. And a very important key also, what really helps me in my life, in my personal life, is gratitude. Just being able
Absolutely.
to say, to be grateful. The other day in my meditation, I said that I'm very grateful for this situation, that I am, even if it's a horrible situation, but I am grateful for the coronavirus, for this quarantine. And then I had some comments like, how can we be grateful for this? Like, people are dying and it's horrible. But I said, yes, even for this horrible situation, you need to be able to say thank you, gratitude. I know it's
Of
horrible, but if you
Absolutely.
can be grateful for this, and see the potential, right? That's the ultimate power,
No,
right?
and
Because you
and
have
and
the
this
power in
this
your
brings us
hands.
to what you were saying, Liv, before, which is how do we
Hmm.
integrate these past experiences? Because you have to feel them, no? But the best way to integrate them is to be grateful that they happened to you, because they taught you something.
Exactly.
So the second you are great, instead of trying to figure out, oh, why is this corona happening to me? And right now, when I was just gonna do this or that on my job, and
Hmm.
no, thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance to really try to figure out who I am, why am I
Hmm.
here, and whatever happens, there's no good or bad, no.
Yes.
It's either sweet lessons or
Hmm.
more complex and tough lessons that we have to learn. When you are grateful for the great lessons, and when you are grateful for the hardship, then
Hmm.
everything flows.
Exactly.
And those lessons will never repeat, like you were saying earlier. They would never repeat again. Or if you
Hmm.
don't listen, they would continue to come up, and it's going to be exponential until life could kill you.
Exactly.
No?
So the question is right now, are we listening? Are we making changes like globally in the world? Are we listening what changes we need to do, right? Like, because a lot of people are still talking about why is it happening, but if you are able to stop for a moment, realize, and really look within. What are the possibilities that you can learn from this quarantine, or you can develop yourself? You can break free from all these fears that you have, and and it's very interesting because we are in the quarantine, right? We are physically in a lockdown, right?
Uh-huh.
But in our mind, we can free our mind. In this, in this environment, is the perfect time to free our mind and break free from all these fears
That's
and
beautiful.
anxiety,
Absolutely.
right? And 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 this is the perfect time to go within and do these changes for ourselves, right? So I hope everyone, like I hope all of us come together and everyone in their personal life realize the changes that they want to make in their life, to be more conscious with their, with their life, with their way of living, and what they can contribute to our world, what
Exactly.
they can, how we can, work this out together and unite.
See, I couldn't agree more. I think you said it beautifully, and I haven't thought about it like that. But yeah, we are being physically locked in our houses, and this is allowing us to free our minds, which is incredible if we make the
Wonderful,
best out of
right?
it. The only
Mm-hmm.
thing that I am afraid is that I say that if out of
Mm-hmm.
all the world population that is struggling through this, 1% wakes up to the
Mm-hmm.
realization that we are here
Right.
and that we are meant to be in service and to help others and to help ourselves also, that would
Mm-hmm.
be an extremely super positive impact out of, and the outcome of that could be incredible. I'm just afraid that in the short term, the reactions that we are going to see from
Mm-hmm.
governments into how are they going to try to impose controls is going to try to push more fear into our lives. But thanks to social media, that hopefully
Mm-hmm.
these tools that have been so corrupted for so many years, only used for a lot of bullshit, are gonna start to be useful for meaningful things, so that
Mm-hmm.
people can continue being connected and organized, and there could be like this organized
Right.
awakening where people continue to nurture and to support each other in this process. Then I see a lot of possibilities and a great potential to what's going to come in the next years, thanks to this.
Yes, definitely. I believe where is darkness, there is a lot of light also. So right now there is a lot of bad things happening, but at the same time, the same amount of light and good things are happening in the world. Like
Mm-hmm.
we are entering Aquarius age, we are entering to a new age of living, right? It's all about balance, harmony. So these changes are happening for us. These changes are happening in the world to create a better future. And with every change, every change is painful, right? Letting go of
Uh-huh.
the old system and entering a new unknown. But I believe it's definitely a wonderful time to be alive, and definitely great things are turning out of this situation. So
Yeah.
if we can all just stay positive and really work on ourselves and breaking free from all these fears that we discussed, it can be a good example for other people, because by doing this for yourself, you are showing an example for other people. So you are inspiring them,
Of course.
right? So
And
by
on the
breaking free, you will, it's like a domino effect. You will inspire and affect other people in your surroundings, so everyone can wake up and change their way of living.
Of course, and to realize also that freedom is on the other side of your fears. No, that definitely we are all afraid about a lot of things that we don't even realize. But the moment
Right.
you start to confront these fears and you start to empower yourself to be able to break free from them, and the
Mm-hmm.
moment you have the willingness to change, then life starts to become so much more subtle, and you can literally get to a
Mm-hmm.
point where you're living heaven on earth. So
Right.
where you don't understand how many beautiful things, and also breaking free from fear requires breaking free from a lot of social conditioning, where the true most beautiful things in life, they are
Mm-hmm.
really simple, subtle things. We don't need so much to be happy, and we've been like reprogrammed to try to believe that we need all this material bullshit to be
Yeah.
fulfilled. But the true honesty is that we don't need much, and that the most beautiful things in life, number one, are for free, and they are
Mm-hmm.
as simple as it gets, but you have to be present and you have to be there in order to be able to appreciate these gifts from Mother Earth, from nature,
Yeah.
from the
Mm-hmm.
universe.
Yeah, just
But
about sunsets, sunrises, just being in nature. It's a blessing for us to be in nature,
mhm,
right? And those
we are,
things are free.
yeah, we are nature, no, and we've been so disconnected. And in LA, you have incredible nature. In Mexico City, for example, for me, or in New
Mm-hmm.
York,
Mm-hmm.
it's so
Right.
difficult to be really in touch with real nature that it's hard, and we start to feel like stripped apart, and that is part of the
Mm-hmm.
problem where we forget that we come from her and that we
Mm-hmm.
are her, no?
Yes, we are
So,
her. Yeah. We are
and how
part of
fast,
nature. Yeah, we are water. Our body contains water. We are
yeah, all of that.
one. Yeah, we are
Uh,
one. Exactly. The same elements that we have in our body, we have the same in nature, right? The same
mhm,
atoms.
yeah.
So we are all one.
Oh, and what would
Mhm.
be one advice that you would give today?
One advice, I would give the advice of committing to yourself. Commit to yourself to do every day something that makes you feel happy. Doesn't matter if it's meditation, or doesn't matter if it's reading or going out to nature, or just by allowing yourself, for example, to turn off for half an hour, to turn off your phone, to meditate, to go outside, to go for a walk, or if I don't know if you can, but just by allowing
Yeah.
yourself to I don't know if you can right now, but just by ha- deciding and committing to yourself that today I will do something that will make me feel better.
See,
That's my advice. Because
yeah,
many times we forget about ourselves, and that's when the disconnection happens, that we start feeling stress, anxiety, and if we every morning, like for example, every morning I wake up in the morning. First thing in the morning, I'm being grateful that I'm alive, that I'm happy, that I'm healthy, and I do my prayers, and then I do my meditation. And just by doing this thing in the morning, I'm committing to myself doing something that will make me feel better. So
for
by
sure.
doing that first thing in the morning that you commit to yourself, your whole day is going to flow differently, right? Because then you are
Absolutely.
in your balance, you are in your center, and it doesn't matter what happens to you, or what news you hear, or what experience is happening to you that day. You will stay in your center.
I agree.
Yeah. What's your
I
advice?
agree. For me, it's
What?
I would say to have so to commit yourself to doing one sacrifice a day,
One
something that
sacrifice.
is gonna require your willingness to do it, whatever it is that you don't want to
Hmm.
do that day because you're lazy, because you're tired, because you're uh,
Right.
overwhelmed with all the problems. Just one little tiny sacrifice so that we can start reclaiming
Hmm.
your your willpower and your will force, because we've been like we've been like taking apart our will force because everything became too convenient. So if you, it's really hard to start something or to have the commitment to start meditating if you don't have the will force. But if you
Right.
say, okay, today I'm not gonna drink coffee, or today I'm
Hmm.
not gonna eat meat, or today I'm gonna have a cold shower, or today I'm gonna meditate 3 minutes, only one
Hmm.
little sacrifice, as
One.
simple as
Hmm.
it can be, according to your own process. It doesn't have to be to start a commitment for a month or a 21-day abundance meditation of Deepak Chopra. No, just one
One.
simple
One.
thing a day that
Hmm.
you are going to have the willingness to do for yourself. I think that would be amazing. And another great advice that I love to give
Hmm.
is a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away.
Oh
And
yeah, a
that
cold shower a day.
a cold shower a day keeps the doctor away. And that, for example, that simple thing, that
Hmm.
that encompasses a lot, because you always need to have the commitment to do it, because it's always hard to do it, to give the step, and it feels amazing. It's like having a rush of energy. It's super good for your health,
Right.
but having a cold shower every day requires your commitment to do it, because it
Right.
always it's always difficult to go into the shower when it's cold, no? And that is a
Yeah.
little way of starting to strengthen your willpower to be able to
Hmm.
reclaim our own independence.
Right. I don't personally like cold showers, but
Do it.
I I don't
Try
like to do
it.
it every day. Once in a while, I do it. Okay,
the
I will
same way
try to do it every day.
the same way you do with your, I agree that you should wake up, we should wake up every day with a smile and thank the universe for being alive. I think it's the best way to start your day. It changes all your preconditioning of whatever can happen. You already started with the right foot. And
Hmm.
then what I would do is that I take a cold shower,
Okay.
and
Hmm.
then I do a breathing exercise from Wim Hof, cold
Hmm.
shower, and then I go
Hmm.
into my prayer and into my meditation. But I think
Right.
that allowing yourself to invest some good quality time every day in the morning to yourself before you engage in any other type of
Hmm.
activity, not even with anyone, I think is really powerful, and it changes your whole day.
Yeah, I think it's very important to. Usually in the morning, I don't touch my phone, for some time. Like I take my time for myself because
Hmm.
sometimes when you wake up and I noticed before, like I when I was working, I always look at my phone because I always had to be ready, right? I always had to
Yeah.
be on the go. You have this shooting, you have this, let's go. So I take the time in the morning for myself. I don't even bother touching my phone in the morning because those, like all the messages and information can corrupt your mind,
Of
and interrupt
course.
your inner peace.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
so I do all my morning routine without the phone. Yeah.
Uh, that's
So,
amazing. So it
and
was
then
good,
like my
Liv,
advice is one meditation a day keeps the doctor away.
also,
That's
for
my
sure.
that's my version. Even if it's
Even if
1 minute,
it's
even if it's,
uh,
like
to
five
sit down in
minutes.
stillness, no? And
Yeah, or just
which application would you recommend for people that are starting, or what device or what tool?
um I'm recommending my meditations.
Uh, every day at
Every day at 10 a.m. Yeah. Yes.
okay.
Because this is also like, so I try different kind of meditations and different teachers, and then I realized that whatever works the best for me, like I took advices from a lot of different techniques, but then I created my own meditation because that what
Hmm.
works for me. So I implement this Indian technique, right? The Shiva technique from India, which is aligning the chakras, opening up all our energy centers, and kind of similar that Kundalini yoga does, like aligning the energy.
This is the
Uh,
one that you're sharing every day. Is the
yes,
Shiva?
yes, the
I'm
Shiva
gonna
technique. Yes, the Shiva technique.
I'm gonna go in tomorrow. I will
Yes,
be
yes,
there.
the Shiva technique, and it's very powerful because by aligning and opening up our chakras, there is a lot of blocks. We are clearing a lot of blocks and energy. The other day, for example, we were working on the heart chakra. So one friend texted me that she started crying, and then I told her, no, go into this, release this emotion because just by opening the heart center, it's so powerful because all these emotions and blocks are coming out. So so I guided her through letting go of these emotions and healing the heart, and it's very powerful. So by doing this every day, you are already working and letting go a lot of fears from your life. And this is
Hmm.
only meditation, right? And then there is the second step when you can go into a karmic regression, which is even deeper level. But as a beginner, you can start working and just committing to yourself and doing the meditation. And by doing that, you are releasing a lot of blocks from your body and from your spiritual body,
Yeah.
and it's very powerful. Yes, I
No, for sure.
recommend it to
So a cold
everyone.
shower and a
Yeah,
meditation a
join.
day keeps the doctor
So cold shower
away.
and
No,
meditation a day keeps the doctor away. Okay, and an
that's
apple,
good, Liv.
no,
And an apple
or a
also.
pineapple.
A pineapple better. Oh yeah. Well, thank you,
Okay.
Liv.
All right. Thank
I love
you.
you. It was great. So let's
Yes,
do it. Okay. We
I
continue
love
next
you
week.
too. Yes. So we decided to do it. Yeah, let's do it every week. So like this, we can share a little bit of
We can
knowledge,
go.
inspiration, and we can go deeper and deeper
Perfect.
in the
Be
in the
safe. Okay.
conversation.
Take
All
care.
right, take care.
Bye,
Nice
Liv.
talking to you. Bye
Love
bye.
you. Bye
Ciao.
bye.
Love you. Ciao. Bye everyone.